Mining Collective.
I get so excited I drop my controller.
So we just saw this, of course, in that Eisengrim match. There's definitely options. The cap points did come into play here yet again. We didn't think they would, but they did. Of course, Eisengrim coming away with that 2-0 victory over Phoenix Legion. Incredible set of matches. Very fun.
I wonder if we're going to see a grasshopper here.
And here we go. I am on the 228 Blackwatch side. What do we got? Stalker, Black Knight, Banshee. They do have a Panther. Panic Button bringing that Panther. It's a very slow mech, but it's got vertical, and it's got that PPC for long range. Basically using it for that area denial trading ability. And they save tonnage to be able to do it, too. They do have a Grasshopper, Hunchback 4P, Wolfhound, and Javelin. So 2 faster mechs. Two faster lights, 1 slow light for the trading capability. What do you got over on the EON side?
Mostly a standard deck: Stalker, Wolfhound, Annihilator, Locust, Javelin, Black Knight, Hunchback 4P. The mech that I'm not sure I've seen so far yet is a Battlemaster 1G. I want to take the loadout here. That has, count them, 6 medium lasers, an SRM-6, 2 machine guns, and a PPC. That is a lot of medium lasers.
That is, and 2 machine guns. Got to watch out for those, of course. So it looks like Blackwatch conceding Theta right off the bat. Looks like they might even get a full cap on it. They didn't send any lights up there right off the bat to try and flush them out. They do have some strikes that are up there to put out some damage. They got some good burns on Da Red and that Wolfhound as he was heading up there. Mostly spread, but they were able to get some damage downfield.
That's big for them. Da Red, the best light pilot in the game. Don't at me.
Don't hat you. Gamma is being flipped. We have this left side push here for Blackwatch. They're kind of rotating 90 degrees, setting up over Theta. I don't know if Blackwatch is going to be able to take Theta back without taking a lot of damage in the process. EON Synergy setting up multiple angles to be able to contest it if they make that move. But right now, just focusing on the trades back and forth. Little bit of LRM fire coming in from the Stalker, actually making contact against that Black Knight, but mostly scratch at this point.
Blackwatch moving up, maybe doing a power position on Theta. I think that's the right thing to do. I don't like hanging out on that ramp if you're on the south side of Mining Collective where Blackwatch is, but they are taking a lot of damage in doing so. They need to make sure that they all move together here.
So they have the Javelin up there. He's trying to get the flip, but they have the Wolfhound popping up trying to get an interruption. It looks like he did flush in that Javelin out. And a strike as well. Every time those arty strikes come up, it's like, don't be in there trying to cap it, because you're probably going to take a shell.
I feel like right now EON Synergy with the better positions, 228 moving up to Theta will help, but I think 228 needs to be a little more aggressive than this right now and gaining some of the ground.
That
back.
Panther,
to move up to the edge.
I mean, this is pretty extreme range, but Panic Button in that Panther, he's just putting that slow and steady damage out. Like, it's 1 PPC, 567 meters, so he's doing about half damage at this range. But if he keeps pelting him downfield, they can't ignore him forever.
Yeah. Big strike across the assault mechs here. The Banshee, as well as it looks like the Grasshopper or Black Knight in the back, taking some fire from an airstrike from EON Synergy. I just don't, right now, it seems like 228's not sure whether they want to push or trade, but they need to do one or the other.
If they want to go hard up this right side, though, it looks like that Battlemaster read it and he's getting out of there. They could have gone up this right side and caught half the team off guard. At the very least, though, they're flushing him and backing EON Synergy all up into kind of one localized area here, which I think is big for Blackwatch. But in terms of damage, though, this Black Knight defunct down to 59%. Center torso open. He's going to have to fall back into kind of a secondary role now if he wants to keep that mech alive.
Looks like the assaults for Blackwatch are moving up. They got to be careful. This Grasshopper is kind of up in front on the ramp. Could get a big shot in. Does take a lot of fire from that Annihilator in the background there.
They do have a Javelin up top. Ed is trying to flip Theta. He's got a long way to go. He's just kind of working the corner right now. This push might have given them the 3 cap that they need, but they've got a long way to go and a lot of fresh EON Synergy mechs to get through.
And it looks like EON is backing up, expecting the push. If you're 228, you almost want to just put it in reverse here.
Yeah,
don't push around that corner. That's going to be a painful push to make. take advantage of gathering the 3 cap there and see if you can hold on to some of these cap points for a while.
Defunct has to be careful because he's got a gap to cross. I don't know if he saw that 4P there, but one bad peek and he's going to go down. It looks like the 4P got a little bit distracted there trying to work in on some of the other mechs. They saw them out and they're trying to get as much damage in as they flush them out. But that Battlemaster moving up on the Grasshopper.
Looks like Eon's moving up with the Battlemaster as well as the Stalker. Maybe they want to try and be aggressive on 228 here.
Eon Synergy has dealt quite a bit of damage here. I think Eon's Synergy could potentially push this and end it. A lot of hurt mechs, a lot of one-touch mechs for Blackwatch, at least with Defunct and Chrisman. Yeah, Chrisman's one-touch as well. I think if Eon pushes this, they can sweep him.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like 228's kind of expecting that, right? They're moving their main body up as well, trying to make sure they have as much firepower available to them. Maybe they're going to be a little aggressive on the right side. I don't think that's necessarily the right call either.
It's hard to say. I mean, Eon Synergy could draw this into a longer engagement here and probably start bringing down Blackwatch mechs and have enough time left to flip it back. It's hard to say whether more time is working for Blackwatch or working against them. But Eon Synergy now getting aggressive. Battlemaster coming up the gut here. I don't think the Grasshopper sees him, but he takes a big hit.
And the rest of his team's not responding.
They were flushing out that Wolfhound.
Pushing around the corner.
Defunct goes down in that Black Knight. I think Eon Synergy has enough armor to do it. They need to make some key shots, but they are getting surrounded. I think we're going to see a slaughter here of these Blackwatch mechs. Stalker goes down. Chrisman goes down. Just a lot of really good trades here by Eon. But they're working the 4-cap. Sigma's getting flipped. Is it going to be enough, though? These last remaining mechs have to live as long as they can.
Yeah, you need to be trying to live. That
Panic
Wolfhound has to get out of town.
Panic managed to get a kill on the Stalker. That'll help him a little bit. He moved up onto Theta. I'm wondering if he'd be better off just full capping Theta as fast as possible. But Gamma gets flipped.
Queen Blade in the Wolfhound. He's trying to fight, and I think he needs to be capping. Gamma's flipped. Epsilon's going to be flipped soon. This is not going well. 4228. They are getting some kills with their lights, but again,
well, it's still
down on tickets.
It's down on tickets. Losing Queen Blade though, I think that just sealed it. That's
and the Panther's still up here trying to get some shots. Now that Panther isn't very fast, so they're not necessarily giving up too much, but I don't think he's gonna win the day here.
Ed in the Javelin did some massive damage here to Burya. He's one touch in that Javelin, but he's gonna be going up now against Da Red in the Wolfhound. It is still very close.
Let's get the arm off.
If Da Red goes down, that's going to be a big pickup from 228.
Still close, but I just don't think they have enough mechs on the field. Panic Button and Ed, even if they can get the Red down, and that Wolfhound is just so tanky, I don't think they have enough mechs, and they don't have the ticket advantage, so they don't have the cap advantage.
Yeah, and it's about to be 4-cap for Eon. This is going to go in favor of Eon. He defended Sigma bravely, but the only other mech they really had available was Panic Button, and he's not able to stop the cap on Theta by himself. And yeah, this is going to go Eon Synergy win. Really, in my mind, name of the game, Eon trading way better than Blackwatch there.
Absolutely.
And I was just waiting for that Eon push. They could have pushed early, they could have pushed late. I don't think it necessarily would have mattered because it didn't take much for them to basically swarm Blackwatch. A lot of one-touch center torso mechs. I mean, you can be down to 50% and not be hanging on by a thread. Your armor might be, a lot of damage, but it could be spread.
Better, yeah.
But it looked to me like Blackwatch was just taking a lot of shots to the chest on a couple of these key mechs, like the Black Knight, and that cost them. I mean, this comes down to the fundamentals of just trade better. If they traded better than Eon, I think Blackwatch could have pulled it off. But Eon did a fantastic job with their trades, and they pushed when they needed to, and really brought the pain. But it's still, I mean, I don't think that this is a full stomp. This is something Blackwatch can fix. I think they can come back and in drop 2 and potentially make a match out of it. But now they're doing it from behind. They have a big hill to climb here. They got to win 2 more if they want to get that ride to MechCon, at least in this drop, or in this match.
And EON kind of picking up where they left off. We saw in their first semifinal round, it looked like the EON synergy of old. Still looks like the EON synergy of old. Lizzie, 788 damage in that Annihilator. That is a ton of damage in an 8v8. That's a ton of damage in a stock match.
And not only that, but that's pinpoint too. And I'm sure those AC-10s were just landing center torso every time. Great aim there by Lizzie, doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
They really did a good job on their trades. They were, I think they had a better spread than Blackwatch. Blackwatch up on that Theta, they're kind of pigeonholed into essentially one position. I mean, you could be a little bit forward than the rest of your team, but that's kind of lining them up for a lot of key strikes too. And I think there were airstrikes in there making a big impact on Blackwatch as well. But that's the tough part, pushing up to that Theta. It's a tough position to play from. You've got a solid wall on the outside, and we can go to the map here just to see how that looked. But ultimately, we had Blackwatch taking this position, EON Synergy taking back up into this position. Blackwatch then moves up onto Theta, and they're playing this back wall here. And there are positions like here and here where they can fire across.
And I think they stalled too much there.
They did have some hesitation getting up on Theta. I feel like they did that, though, because they were dodging a strike. There was a strike shortly after the charge.
Oh, I just meant, I think from their initial position, I think the D4 position is stronger than the Echo 4, Echo 5 position. I think if you're Blackwatch, you did the right thing moving up onto Theta, but I don't think that you can stop on Theta and trade into that D4 position. I think that's what hurt them, is they stopped for a little while, they traded on Theta, and then they moved up into D5. I would have liked to have seen just a solid movement up into D5, get there as quickly as possible, and then start your real trading.
I agree. I can agree with that. What I think is having a couple key mechs up on Theta is big. I think maybe limit it to 2, though. I would have liked to have seen more of their guys get over here sooner. They did ultimately end up over there, but if they could have started controlling some of these key peak points as well and just having kind of this trifecta of angles into that position, it would have forced EON Synergy to make a little bit more of an aggressive maneuver sooner.
Agreed.
I think a lot of that damage that came in on Blackwatch occurred when they were right here, because I saw a lot of weak mechs then shifting back out, and a lot of opportunities where that 4P was able to come around the corner and get a lot of full burns in on some of those approaching mechs. I just think that right side flip or shift there could have happened a little bit sooner and maybe gotten away with less incoming damage because of it.
I think, honestly, I think that's what really hurt them, is kind of the hesitation trying to trade from Theta with most of your mechs. It didn't work out for you. You can't make a mistake like that and put yourself in a bad trading position versus a team that's as good as EON Synergy.
And EON Synergy, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They are going back, switching sides, of course, but EON Synergy opting to stay on Mining Collective and take it for drop 2. We'll have to see if Blackwatch is able to make the changes they need to be able to control the map better and just really land their shots. It'll be interesting. I mean, this is the only team right now, I think, that's bringing a PPC Panther. They brought it before, so there's not a really big surprise there. How effective is that PPC doing half damage, 1 PPC? He's unchecked. He's not taking return fire. He's able to just fire non-stop. Does that damage add up enough to really make a difference? It's hard to say. It really is. I mean, he can get his own strikes in, of course, but he's just pelting with, PPC, 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 but it's not front-loaded damage. And it almost seems like EON can just shrug it off because they're making their shots on the closer up targets. They're making their full burns.
They've got bigger fish to fry.
They got bigger fish to fry. So yeah, they're taking some hits. So it's almost like the Panther is a dot, They've been inflicted with a curse and they're slowly bleeding damage, but in the meantime they're still getting up in their face and getting the job done on the bigger targets. So the Panther ends up being one of the only mechs left. What can he do? He's not going to be able to run around and play the cap game. He's too slow.
That's the trade-off, right? You've got a light mech that can do some harassing damage, but again, it's a standard PPC. It doesn't have that great of a range, and the trade-off is you've now got a mech that basically can't cap as well as what you would expect out of that weight class. And we've seen it time and time again. Even if you don't win on caps, you have to control them. You have to pay attention to them. If you just ignore them, you will lose.
What would you have taken in its place, though? I mean, we had the Javelin on the field. We had the Wolfhound. Those are the big, I think, pinpoint
I think we've seen
damage.
a lot of Locusts, right?
A Locust could have been impactful, but it's hard to say. I mean, he'd have to be, to get the same damage he got with the Panther, he'd be having to make a lot of in-your-face peaks with the Locust. It would have given them more versatility on backcapping, potentially. But that's a tough one. It's a tough trade-off, and especially if Blackwatch has been practicing with that over-the-head kind of. He's also got vision. You got to give him that. He's got vision. He can see movement and call out to his team as well. He's the drop caller for the team, so he's able to turn that information into action a lot quicker than relying on a scout to tell you the information and then make the decision.
And I think it's tough for some of these guys, right? They're so used to being impactful, even in a light mech. But in stock mode, the biggest impact is cap points. The next biggest impact is protecting those points and dueling other lights. And then maybe the third option is, getting behind someone and harassing them, maybe getting them to turn around or back up a bit. But priority number 1 has to be cap. Priority number 2 has to be the other lights. And priority number 3 is doing the damage. And I think when you see that kind of flipped, like a mech like the Panther, it just doesn't feel as effective in stock mode as maybe it would have been in a different mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we see this sometimes, and I've called this out before, where somebody has a strat that doesn't work out, but the strat was designed around accomplishing one thing. It's either accomplished around winning the trades or around winning the cap points, and then they fail. So in this case, I feel like Blackwatch came into this one with their strat built around winning the trades, and they didn't win the trades.
Agreed.
So do you change it up now? Do you try and win the cap battle? That would require, in my opinion, a mech choice change. Or are they just going to try it again and try and improve and win the trades? I mean, it's tough. It's a hard call, especially as a drop caller. But if they've been just practicing this strat and they don't have anything else in their playbook here, they might have to. They might have to just refine it and get it better.
I think ultimately as a team, you have to play to your strengths, right? If 228 feels like trading, being aggressive, the sort of combat first mindset is their strength, I think they need to run with it if they feel like there's things that they can improve. And I think they will go back and look at this and say, yeah, we can improve.
So better angles, not packing up against airstrikes as much, better movement in general, better angles, and then better aim.
And don't stall out.
Going back to the fundamentals of this one. Not even a stall out as much as just don't pack up.
Don't trade from a bad spot.
If their entire team ended up all running off to the right side, I don't think they would have fared any better.
Agreed.
It's just get to the spots quicker, get to there with more purpose, and then start landing the shots and don't make bad trades. I mean, it's hindsight's 2020. Obviously, I mean, it's easy. It's easier. Simple, yeah. It's easy for us to say. It's so simple. If only they would just shoot better, then it wouldn't be a problem, right?
Shoot better, move to better points, and know when the right time to peak is.
Yeah. So I could say that all day long, but I could not personally execute as well as both of these teams do. We're watching potentially two of the best teams in the game going head to head here. It's really easy for us to say, "Oh, just do it better," and then, well, good luck.
Especially when I can see what they brought and where they are. It helps out.
Exactly.
But here we go. Round 2.
So they have switched sides. The immediate Gamma and Epsilon flip here with, looks like EON getting a couple seconds lead. And once again,
there was a deck change.
Once again, an immediate push up here. Let's see if Dared takes a bunch of hits again. Looks like he got some scratch on him. Not much, though. And the immediate concede of Theta to EON Synergy.
It's a better side to get Theta from because you've got a solid wall to protect against. Here comes the Wolfhound. Takes a lot of damage. 228, that's Queen Blade in the Wolfhound. Both mechs were expecting that coming up, and if you're, yeah, here we go, Hunchback. If
Oh, he's
you're
getting in the way of the Hunchback, too.
be aggressive with this Hunchback. Take advantage of all those medium lasers you've got. Put some damage down on these guys while you still can.
That Hunchback getting up there, he's flushing those lights out, or at least trying to. They got some damage in, though. 76%, 75%. That's a big pickup for Blackwatch. They did, Queenblade got pretty hurt as well, though. But that could add up to being big things later. Looks like they're going to send Queen off to Epsilon.
That mech is great at corner peeking in the Wolfhound, and he is just going to keep Theta as long as he can.
Yeah, this might require... We're right back into the original positions again. This is panning out exactly the same. Is Blackwatch going to fall for the same trap again? They might have to power up to Theta just like before, try and flip it back. It's only a sliver cap. Do they have Panther this time again?
They do.
Yep, looks like he's a little bit closer than last time. He's not sitting as far back as before.
But they can't just sit here and let Theta be. Oh man!
So there was a
UAV.
There was a UAV up, and they were trying to get it down. One last bite before realizing that, or before the UAV got taken down, made a tough peek. Everyone saw him coming. They knew he was coming because of the UAV, and they pre-fired him and made him pay for it. Yeah, that's where UAVs can be for more than just LRMs. Getting that information and being able to line up on that corner before a guy peeks can be pretty big.
Once again, it feels like EON winning the early trades. 228, not sure what their strategy is going to be here. They are sending the Black Knight up the right side. I think that's a good thing to do. They can't abandon the left side, but they need to start moving here away from that position, although it looks like they are doing a full rotation.
Yeah, they didn't suicide push up to Theta this time, so already making changes. Is it going to be for the better or not? That's the key question. Defunct here, 96% with a lot of pinpoint damage here. Bright red mech, though. He loves that bright red mech. Makes it work, though. That's a lot of damage sending downfield into the Battlemaster. Down to 88%.
And EON responding with the Locust on Theta and the Wolfhound now rotating in behind.
Panic
These two lights on Theta here, are they going to be able to hold back EON Synergy's lights?
LRM's coming in on Panic Button. He's trying to press up against the wall here as best as he can. But yeah, main move is up this right side. EON is not moving, though. They haven't budged. They seem to be setting up to receive this push. At least Blackwatch is in a little bit better health than they were last time they were over here, but compared to EON, though, Blackwatch needs to start landing some damage big time.
And they've conceded Theta as well. They're down 200 tickets.
And Da Red on their heels.
Now Gamma is being back capped. Blackwatch needs to do something other than what they're doing right now. They are sending a back cap over to Sigma. It's not going to be enough, though, if they just keep giving up cap points like this.
They have a little bit of time, but it seems to me like Blackwatch is going to have to be the aggressors here. I don't think EON...
Agreed.
I don't think EON needs to push. They can just sit here and ride this 4 cap for a while. But Da Red's sitting on Theta. He's fully capping it, and nobody has an answer for him.
Yeah, I don't like Blackwatch conceding Theta entirely with those two light mechs. They moved up with the main body. Da Red now taking a little bit of LRM fire. Javelin moving up to try and flip Theta again, but it's full capped, and Da Red is still there.
He's got Panic Button with him, but how much can he do with essentially one SRM, right?
Yeah, I mean, both these mechs need to move in and start doing some damage. They need to focus on getting Da Red down as quickly as possible if they're not going to push.
Looks like we have movement from Blackwatch. They had to go, and now they're calling it. They're pushing up through Theta. Now that Da Red's out of the way, they can move up this left side here.
But EON has eyes on them. They're backing up.
Ooh, a big strike
Nice
over
strike.
Wolfhound. Panic Button gets the kill on Da Red. That's a big pickup for them.
But they are right now 4 caps to none. Looks like they are going to be aggressive. EON knew they were coming, set up, but EON splitting up a little bit. If 228 doesn't push too far forward, they might be okay in this position.
I think Panic Button needs to just sit on Theta while getting his PPC fire in. Another bit of a stall out here, but Krisman landing a kill on Zelaglock in that Battlemaster. They need to start flipping points. They sent 2 mechs off to Gamma and Epsilon, and there's another light mech heading up towards Sigma for EON Synergy. The stall out might work in their favor, but they need the 4 cap to win.
I think is better than an aggressive push, but they need to get these cap points negated quickly.
They need to start bringing more of these Eon Synergy mechs down. One last bite and the Grasshopper goes down.
A lot of mechs running into each
other.
Oh,
Defunct caught on the cross. He gets taken down, but Chrisman lands the Annihilator and then goes down himself. 3 mechs dead on both sides, but
and Theta just got flipped. He couldn't.
Hardock in the Locust. Yep.
The Locust comes up behind him. They never actually secured Theta, so he really didn't have to do anything other than just not get noticed. They couldn't have let Theta get flipped. They did. This is going to be over as well.
Yeah, Eon Synergy
down.
is going to take it.
Too many caps.
2-0. Blackwatch just trying to do it better than before, and unfortunately for them, it ended up being worse. Just Eon Synergy not budging, not blinking, just landing their shots really well and just controlling the firing lanes. I mean, they weren't necessarily controlling the map as much as they were just controlling the firing lanes. And when your mech is ripped in half, I mean, you start playing very cautious. Blackwatch can't be aggressive when they're ripped in half.
I think for Blackwatch, they need to go back to the drawing board at the start. Remember, the spawn points are on basically either side of these maps. You're equidistant or close to equidistant from both ramps, but on both times they chose the south side ramp, which I think is definitely a weaker position than the north side. They don't have to do that from the start. They need to go back and look at how they're doing the start movement, because it's hurting them starting on the south side and then being forced to move up while Eon just sits there and takes shots at them.
Beautiful damage spread by Eon. 407, 402, 408, 400. Just a very, very nice damage spread from all of those guys. Chrisman and the Banshee pulling 576. The Hunchback 394. Black Knight 332. But Panther 184. I mean, it's damage. He did something, I guess. But Queenblade taking a lot of that early damage, probably wasn't able to be as aggressive as he probably would have liked, only pulling 87 damage. You know, you get ripped in half, like I said, and you're going to be a lot more passive, and you're not going to make the peaks to get the damage downfield, because one more shot and you're taken out. So a lot of that early damage to Queenblade, I think, really added up. But Blackwatch is going to have to go back to the drawing board. I personally don't want to see them do this again. The same strat again. It's not working against a team that just has to dig in their heels and just win the trades. And, you know, who are we going to see Blackwatch up against after this one? Loser 13. It's going to be either RJF or Swamp Foxes. If they win that, they might be up against EMP or Isengrim. There's still a chance to get in that top 3, and you know, hopefully Blackwatch is saving their biggest bag of tricks here for the end to be able to stay alive. But they're down in the losers bracket now.
I think you're right, though. They need to take that strat and just throw it out. Don't do that anymore. That one's not working. There's clearly a counter out there sitting on the north side ramp. It's just devastating against that south side ramp. Like I said, they don't have to start with going there. That's what I don't understand, is you see, you know, the north side being so stronger. In both matches, they wound up going to the north side, but it was after they had committed to south side, taken a bunch of damage, and then pushed across Theta or alongside Theta. Why don't you just go there from the start? Then you don't take all that damage. That's what I don't understand. So for 228, gonna have to go back to the drawing board, I think, for that one. That strat clearly not working. Eon, they're picking up right where they left off, right? I mean, we talked about it in their first semifinal round. The trading is just so clean. And now against 228 Blackwatch, a much better opponent, and still the trading is just very clean, and they have punched another golden ticket. We will see Eon Synergy again at Vancouver.
Yes, we will.